takım kadroları Ukrayna, Ukrayna. Number 4, 4 numara Maxim Pustutvono. Number 5, 5 numara Alexander Kolchenko. Number 7, 7 numara Denis Lukashov. Number 9, 9 numara Ruslan Opelchenko. Number 11, 11 numara Alexander Lipovic. Number 12, 12 numara Maxim Kornienko. Number 30, 13 numara Vyacheslav Bobrov. Number 14, 14 numara Igor Zaitsev. Number 15, 15 numara Vyacheslav Kravtsov. Number 23, 23 numara Artem Pustomor. Number 24, 24 numara Volodymyr Koniev. Head coach, baş antrenör Mr. Yevgen Borzin. Slovenia, Slovenia. Number 0, 0 numara Anthony Randall. Number 1, 1 numara Matej Srevets. Number 3, 3 numara Kural Dragic. Number 6, 6 numara Alexei Nikolic. Number 7, 7 numara Klemen Prepelic. Number 8, 8 numara Eto Buric. Number 11, 11 numara Jakan Blažić. Number 14, 14 numara Kasper Whitmar. Number 17, 17 numara Sasha Zagoras. Number 22, 22 numara Žiga Dimec. Number 31, 31 numara Vlatko Čačar. And number 77, 77 numara Luka Doncic. Head coach, baş antrenör Mr. Igor Kokoshko. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthems. Ulusal marşlar için sizleri ayağa kalkmaya davet ediyorum. First, national anthem of Ukraine. Ukrayna Ulusal Marşı. And now Slovenia. Slovenya Ulusal Marşı. Thank you. Teşekkür ederiz. In the tradition of international basketball, the teams will now exchange games. Uluslararası basketbol geleneklerine göre her iki takım hediye değiş tokuşunu gerçekleştiriyor. Finlanda'dan Cristiano Ronaldo, present. Yunanistan'dan Panathinaikos Anastopoulos, from Greece. İtalya'dan Tolga Şahin, from Italy. And again, Commissioner karşılaşmanın teknik komiseri Büyük Britanya'dan Ryan Paul, from Great Britain.
Ребят, будьте готовы. Могут начать 5 играть. Первый идет здесь заслон, могут сразу же начать. Иногда начинают с этого. Остальное помним, да, сбрасывание. Не сбрасывание, я говорю, один. Рога, шея, все это помним. Циркул, все помним. Давайте, мы будем подсказывать, ребят, давайте.
Давай, защите, пацаны, поехали!
Мы 4 блинки.
Раз, два, три!
Через четвертого.
Number 7, jedzie numer Denis Lukaszow. Picks up his first, defeating Johan Rantius first. Ukraine defeating James Teknopan. Oyun başına ayakta müdahale. Slovenya ball. Slovenya hücum olacak. Ukrayna hücuma devam edecek. 4 seconds left on the 24. Hücum süresinin sona ermesine 4 saniye kaldı. Asist yapan oyuncu Konrad Dragic.
First here in the first quarter.
That's where Kravtsov is. We get a replay of a little pretty behind the back play for the easy two, and Donic just keeps doing everything. You know, defensively he's very, very good, but he literally will run the floor all day.
It's a good size.
Kravtsov just lazy though. That's just lazy defense. It's just get down low, move your feet, and make the guy go over you.
Lipovic grabbed Vidmar before he caught the basketball there. No basket. 14 on the shot clock as Slovenia will inbound.
Here comes the cavalry. You know, Lipovic's been an absolute revelation. You know, he's a solid, had a solid early pro career, but he now seems to be really developing into someone who really, you know, Kravtsovic's going to get in, do a job. He's going to change shots and run the floor. He'll run the floor like a deer here.
That's number 23 in blue on your screen. He has been terrific in Tel Aviv, averaging double figures, leading the team in scoring. Foul away from the basket. And quickly here, the fouls are mounting up. That's Lukashov, his second foul, and with...
That's a horrible number for the Ukraine. Lukashov picking up too quickly. Now they go bigger, and it's, if they can deal with any full court pressure, there's a lineup they put on the floor, and 4 of them are on the floor at the moment. It's only Koniev that really doesn't fit into that quick mode, that really does spread and run.
Doncic for 3, no good. And Pastovi gets his first fingertips to the ball.
He's a stat magnet at the moment. He smokes on the floor, gets a stat. This is where they're going to struggle, okay? This half court just kills them.
Kolchenko for 2, no good. And Anthony Randolph, who just checked into the game, pulls down his first rebound. Vidmar waiting to set the screen for Dragic, attacking Lipovic's chest.
Wow.
And a tough shot. over 2 defenders, and Dragic is on the board.
Well, with Dragic with his NBA experience, he's going to be going over big guys a lot. But how long is Stovey really does get a hand up on it.
Lipovic, Kolchenko, right to the tin. Rebound there is Kornienko to clean it up.
There's a stat we looked at in points production in the first 15 compared to I looked at in terms of first 15 or last 10. And wow, there's such a huge disparity between the quality of what they do early. Not necessary, as I say, on the break.
Stovey's going to get called for the blocking foul. Vidmar gets up a little lame there. Fell awkwardly. Seems to be okay.
See, he misses him, and he gets moved, which we've spotted. He has to play long, not strong, and Vidmar just moved him sideways a little too easily.
4:23 here to go in the first quarter, and Slovenia now in the penalty. Vidmar hits the first free throw.
Very much at home, obviously, with his club in Turkey and Banvit. He's just a day in, day out, solid man. It says positionally, I'm a 5. That's what I do. And, I'm playing 6 feet and in here and banging around, and he brings that every single game.
Averaging 9 points, 4 rebounds in the tournament. There you see the free throw numbers on screen. Both teams shooting around 80%. You'd like to see that number lift a little bit.
Yep. Well, Ukraine, it has to. Another turnover.
And then get out and run is Dragic attacking. Left it short. Randolph, Johnny on the spot, able to find Vidmar. Blocked by Pistova from behind, but they say foul.
Well, I hope they called a foul on Pustovanov. If Pustovanov gets the foul, no damage. But if Pustova picks up foul number 2, bit of an issue. Let's have a look.
It is on Pistova.
Well, let's hope it's Pustovanov. I don't think it is.
It was Pistova. He picked up his second foul.
The trouble with Pistova, as we've seen before, he's not great playing with fouls because he can't use his body and his space to defend the middle. He has to be active, and obviously activity means he's going to be liable to pick up more. I'd leave him. At this stage, I don't think they have, what do they have to lose?
Win and continue on. Lose or go home. Offensive rebound there by Doncic. Doncic now dancing with the dribble. In the lane, gets his man to lift. What a move. He's showing us everything here early on. 9 points and counting.
Well, look, it's not about athleticism, it's about fundamental execution individually. Gets his guy in the air, beautiful pivot, steps through, soft touch. There's not a lot he can't do.
Kornienko wants the ball on Doncic. Lipovic uses the screen. Doncic now switches out on him. Lipovic for 3. Too strong there, and Vidmar vacuums in that rebound.
That's simply not good enough if the Ukraine want to stay with this. That type of shot, they ain't going to make enough of those.
Dragic back to Randall. 10 on the shot clock. They go inside. Vidmar banging. Randall, the extra pass this side. Again, a nice ball movement by Slovenia. Doncic on the offensive glass, and he's fouled for his efforts.
Every single player in a white uniform gets a touch. Every single player in a white uniform has a shot, but they think he has a better percentage one. And even the wide open extra pass, you're thinking, yeah, he's going to take that, but he had Vidmar doing a great job holding his space away from the ball. He gets it, but then they can't execute. Then they pick up an offensive rebound because they've moved the defense, because they've spread the floor, because they're actually taking people into areas they don't want to get taken into. That's why Slovenia literally had a 0 in the loss column coming out of Helsinki. There's efficiency written all over this team.
There's the young star, Luka Doncic, has grabbed the attention of the basketball world. Only 18 years of age, filling the stat sheet right across the board. Close to 14 points per game, 7 rebounds, 3.5 assists. Misses the free throw, and Kolchenko pulls it down. Lukashov back into the game. And that's an 8-second violation there. That's the Ukraine. A little casual coming up.
I just don't, when you see a player with their palms up and a coach with their palms up, it's like, where are the answers here? The answers are out there on the floor with the 5 guys in blue. They've got to come up with just greater awareness, a little sharper offensively. They're playing one of the best teams in the competition, so they've just got to be a little bit sharp with everything they do.
Nikolic for three, no good. Again, Doncic attacking the offensive glass and earning possession here. It's a fresh 14.
See, the thing that the Ukraine have to understand here is that trust Pustovi to play one-on-one. You don't have to collapse in that situation. You can't leave wide open shooters. Pustovi's 2 meters 15. He's more than capable.
Prepelic indeed from three.
That's why you can't just double down and not close out effectively.
19-7 to score here early on. Second chance points 8-2 in favor of Slovenia. That's a 2 and it's knocked down. Maxim Pustovanov knocking down his first shot.
Yeah, we've talked about Pustovanov. If you leave him open with his feet set, he makes shots, but ball movement's going to be the only way to free him up.
Doncic, nice behind the back look, and then Pustovi erases that attempt. Bobrov up to Pustovi, can't catch the alley-oop.
Poor
Here
pass
comes
after
Slovenia
all
the
the
other
effort by Pustovi. That's why they got to leave him to play one-on-one inside.
Doncic gave it away, left his feet. Bad decision there.
Pustovi again.
Lukashov right by everybody in the corner. Pushes Vonov for three, indeed. 2 in a row for him. 5 points and counting early on.
And look at the effect of Pustovi. Even Doncic on a penetration has to change his shot. It's not the blocks, it's the way he makes you change.
Little mini 5-0 spurt now for the Ukraine. Nikolic was fouled. Sate was in the act. Ukraine are in the penalty regardless. Free throws for Nikolic.
We've talked a lot, as there's a timeout on the floor, we talked a lot, haven't we, about forcing people to a direction. Don't play them straight up because they're too good.
19-12 to score here in the first quarter. A minute 17 remaining in the first game of the round of 16.
Well, there's the field goal percentages, and you look at Ukraine down there at 33%. Got it in there was that period where they got to the basket but were challenged. It's ball movement in transition. Get it down the first side, reverse it to the second side if you don't have anything early, so the defense has to make an adjustment. 8 fouls because the defense is always aware where the ball has been. They have never got into closeouts. They've never got into situations where the offense has an advantage. So get it down. If you can give it to the trailer on earlies, great. If not, quick reversal, get it to the second side. See if you can stretch the defense, because this Slovenian defense hasn't been challenged. So, okay, that's not a great example, but it's a great point of they went down one side, drew the defense, and kicked it to the open man. That's early transition, but they can get the same type of thing if they keep moving it and do not let the ball get stuck. And that's the one thing that we haven't seen. Can Slovenia reverse and get out and close out? And how good is the inside at actually adjusting? They haven't had to do that. It's always been in front of them.
The Ukraine are averaging 20 assists as a team in the group phase, but they do go through periods of the game where the ball seems to stick a little bit more than others, and that's normally where they find themselves into trouble as Nikolic at the line makes the first free throw.
When these two teams played in preparation, and we've already talked about the fact that preparation sometimes doesn't really reflect, Ukraine were in the game all the way through. It ended up just as it was only like an 11-point game in the end. And talking to the Ukrainians before, they were in all those games at that stage of their prep. They thought they were doing well at that stage. So they're not going to come in here thinking they have no opportunity. They have enough looks at this team to find a way to be very effective.
Lomachenko was looking for Bobrov. Now Bobrov finds it from Krastov, and he's right at the tip for 2. There's a ball movement you were talking about.
A little bit of ball movement. Wasn't as quick and sweet, but they moved it. A nice pass by Krastov to the inside, dragged out the middle and opened it up.
10 on the shot clock. Prepelic skip pass. Randolph thought about it. Now launches and hits.
I'll 2 meters 11, standing in the corner. Just knocks down the three.
Lipovic, and that's the first foul here for Slovenia in the first quarter. Here we see the last foul play by Nikolic.
Picks up his first to finish 100 teams first. Slovenia, the winning team, take a
10-point game. With 26 seconds to go in the quarter, and that's an and one off of an inbound.
Yeah, you know, it's one of my pet hates, isn't it? You know, you prepare, you scout, you see the out of bounds, and you go, right, well, we're not going to give them this and this and this. They'll get it in, and then we can start playing defense again. But they get their first option on a cut to the hoop. Someone went to sleep. Someone wasn't awake in that pre-game meeting.
Bustosvanov at the line to complete the three-point play, and does. And he's come off the bench with a little spark here now for the Ukraine. 8 and counting for him. Slovenia can hold for the final possession here in the first quarter.
Big possession for the Ukraine in terms of momentum. Get a stop now. They're going 7 down. Slovenia, I don't know if they can play much better. They're still only 7 down. They're right in it. They can't foul with 8 seconds to go and give up the 2. And Ovchenko, who does normally come in with real positive impact, again, knuckle down, stay down, and play defense.
He was a spark in the win against Israel in the final day that booked their ticket here to Istanbul. Picks up the foul there with 8.7 seconds to go in the first quarter. Chanchar checks into the game, number 31 in white for Slovenia. And Prepelic hits the first free throw. Zaitsev getting set to check in for the Ukraine here for the final possession. Prepelic averaging double figures here for this Slovenian squad. Coming off the bench. So they have quite a deep backcourt here for Slovenia. A lot of scoring punch in that backcourt as Babrov gets fouled by Anthony Randolph away from the basket.
And Slovenians have a lot of, you know, that because they've been controlled, because they haven't been had to defend penetration at a disadvantage, they've still got a foul to give after that. So the importance of not giving up cheap fouls.
Lipovic, Nikolic poked it out of his hands. 3.4 to go here in the first quarter. No more fouls to give. Bustosvanov for 3, no good. And that's how we'll end the first quarter. 26-17, Slovenia trying to stay unbeaten and move on to the quarterfinals. Reminder, you can join us in conversation on social media using the hashtag Eurobasket2017 and always keep up to date with your favorite players and your favorite team by simply downloading the official FIBA Eurobasket 2017 app in your Android or iOS stores.
Oh, those stats, you know, stats never lie. Very efficient. As these highlights are going to show you that Slovenia get what they want more often than not. And they really are efficient, in particular if they do with their defense. They run the floor, they get open looks, they get a lot of points off their defense. But Ukraine found a way as that quarter developed. Offensively, swing it, create different angles. Look like you've got the long closeouts. If you create long closeouts, you have an advantage as an offensive player. And they're still more than in this, because if they get to that point, they've got enough size to protect the ring, and you know, I don't know if Slovenia can play any better than they just did. They were very, very good.
They were able to find shots right at the tin as well, which the Ukraine generally tightened up defensively as the game goes on. There you see a nice defensive rotation. Bobrov got in the way of that attempt. Good start to the second quarter here for the Ukraine. Krastov down low. It looked like they want to exploit this matchup against the smaller Randolph. Krastov thought he got hit as he walks back up the floor.
Just got himself in a bad angle, didn't he? If he'd have been like another 2 feet up the keyway, he would have had the angle to make that shot.
Dragic, step back over Lipovic, left it short. Diving on the floor. How much does this mean to him? But he did walk after getting up on his own.
If your superstar wants to get on the floor, then there's no excuse for anybody.
It's got to be contagious. It's a lot of money diving on the floor there, as you see here on the replay.
A lot of people holding their breath on that one.
26-17. Winner moves on. Loser will go home as Randolph comes away with the steal. Randolph dancing to the corner. Chanchar for three. Can't connect. Here's Lipovic. Got in the air, found Bobrov. Bobrov in the post. Got his man in the air. Randolph with the block. 2-on-1 opportunity. Chanchar to the rim. And pounds it home.
Well, there's a great phrase, isn't there? Know what you can do, and more importantly, know what you can't do. So, as we see this, the highlight on the break, again, points off turnovers, key factor. Bobrov's doing a nice job. He's in the post, it's one-on-one. Does he think he's going to go over the top of Randolph? No, he shouldn't. Kick it out, start again, Ukraine have got to be so efficient here to have an opportunity to win the game. That's just a bad decision.
Lipovic driving in, took the contact and finish.
He bumped the contact really well. Drive lane opened up. Decisive. How often we've seen Ukraine be decisive and you're in a good place.
28-19. Here's Randolph. Jab stepping on Bobrov, rising up and puts it in. That's a second jumper he canned in the face of Bobrov. Previously was a three, that time using a jab step to get him off balance and rising up. Foul away from the basketball. Chanchar is first.
Try and make him put, it's dead easy to say. Try and make him put the ball on the floor. You have to trust your teammate and your defensive rules then, but Randolph with his feet set, he shows he shoots the three. There's not really a hand on the shot. That's just a drill. It's a drill shot for him. You've got to take him out of shots, they take in drills.
Luka Doncic checks back into the game. He has 10 points and 4 rebounds. After doing a good job of not fouling in the first quarter here early on, Slovenia picks up their second team foul.
Well, Krastov should be okay here. He's got a matchup like for like. When he has a like for like matchup, he's fine.
Mr. Zvanov has been hot off the bench for the Ukraine. He has 8. Lukashov finds Krastov. Mr. Zvanov, that's a 2. No good there. And Dimic pulls it down.
Small margins, quality of pass. It wasn't quick enough. Postavanov then had to reach for it. Defense closes him out. Dangerous time for the Ukraine. They've got to keep this manageable. 11 is fine if they can just keep it around there, keep it to single digits. They're right in the game. They will get a run at some point.
Here's Randall inside. Dimic has a double team. Tried to kick it out to Chanchar. Good scramble there by the Ukraine, and here they come the other way. In the corner, Kolchenko now waits as Krastov gets set to go to work. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Krastov calmly with the jump hook, no good. One and done on that end for the Ukraine. Dragic. Dragic with a much bigger Krastov on him. Looks to take him right to the tip. What a block by Bobrov. Coming over to help. 2-on-1 opportunity here. Lukashov with the fake pass. Tried to go over Doncic. Can't get it to go. Pace picking up here. Dragic to the 10. He got hit by Kolchenko. And he'll go to the line for 2.
Same point, guys, the same point, isn't it? Had a great opportunity. They're 2-on-1. They take a bad shot. What happens down the other way? They're playing 4-on-3. They get a great option, and they get fouled. That sums up at the moment that it's the options in transition if it isn't there, if it isn't something you want, there's no harm if you're the Ukraine pulling it out. Now, Lukashov should have done a better job. Let's not try and give him too many down to the decision. He's on one-on-one going to left. Get fouled or score, and if you're not doing either of those, kick it and start again. Postavanov and Babarov done a nice job. Postavanov's been really decent in the way that he does. Smooth off the ball, takes the open shot. They're just got to move the ball enough. Gustovi's back in the game. Always a chance of a run when he starts igniting the defense.
A little pressure shown by Slovenia. Very soft. Ukraine able to get over half. Chanchar watching Lukashov. Screen there, Koniev. Gustovi rolling to the tin. That pass too tall for him. 3 on the shot clock. Nailed Doncic. No whistle blew, but Gustovi stopped for that second, and that led to the shot clock violation.
I think all of us are feeling Doncic's pain right now. It's one of those unfortunate bang. That's
maybe only 18, but his voice still probably went up a couple octaves.
Yeah, I think, just as his voice is broken as well.
Timeout on the floor. 31-19, Slovenia up with 6:08 to go in the second quarter.
Well, as we said, points off turnovers 7. It's like almost completely balanced in favor of Slovenia. And they've also been fouled in transition as well. It's another positive stat they get. If you coach Murzin right now, offensive rebounds, he can deal with that. You know, because that's just a box out situation. Got to deal with that. He's only 12 down. Slovenia can't play that much better. These guys just have to tighten up on a couple of, just take care of the ball, make better decisions. And even the lobs, we saw the way that Gustovi in transition, where they're just putting up around the ring. Will Slovenia do a great job at protecting that space? Then don't make the pass. Look at another opportunity. Don't get disappointed. Don't force. And you're right in this. They've got enough talent and size to really be competitive here.
It almost seems that they're a little bit tight to start the game.
Yeah.
They started to loosen up here.
Absolutely.
In the second quarter. Try to give themselves a chance of moving on to the quarterfinals. It's winner go home time here, the Eurobasket 2017. Dragic for 3, no good. Kornienko pulls it down, and Lukashov head up, looking to run a little bit here.
Oh, reward the big man. He got ahead of everybody. Throw it up there.
Chenko comes on to curl. Doncic did a good job of denying him there. Gustovi now sets for Lukashov. There is the alley-oop play. Lukashov could not catch above everybody. The ball touched the rim. They didn't reset the shot clock. Doesn't matter anyway, as
surely the attempt by Gustovi in trying to throw it down caught the ring. Doesn't matter. Made the 2. Kolchenko.
10-point game. Here you see the 3-point percentages so far. Randolph steps in and knocks it down. He's looking confident with that jump shot.
How efficient is Anthony Randolph? He's always in his space, always in his time. Beautiful stroke.
7 points and counting for him. He's perfect from the field. Lukashov. Kornienko for 3. That's too strong, and Chanchar will track that one down. Halfway through this second quarter, Slovenia with a 12-point advantage. Doncic steps back. The foul is on the screen, and it's going to be on Kolchenko.
I'm still not sure how Ukraine have decided to play the pick and roll here, because I couldn't tell you if they were going to hard show. I couldn't tell you if they're going to force to it, away from it, and that's a recipe for picking up fouls. Once you don't know what you're trying to do, you're making it up. And once you're making it up, the offense has such an advantage.
Coach Murzin going to the bench, bringing back Postavanov onto the floor. Kolchenko will leave. Dragic uses the Vidmar screen, probing right at the 10, and Postovi denying him. Running the floor as well, Lukashov. Koniev thought about it, now pulls it back out, wants to go opposite side to post Kornienko. Instead, Postovi lines up a 2 that misses. Doncic not wasting any time, really looking to get ahead. Doncic using the screen, floater in the lane over Postovi. No good, last touch they say by Slovenia.
4:11 to go, they're down 12 in the half. And Slovenia have cooled down a little bit. They're not making everything anymore, and the defense is just that little half a step quicker. So they've stopped that end, and it just plays like this where the quality of the pass is just a step off. Got to make the quality count.
Postovi left alone. They invite him to shoot the 3. He does. No good there. Definitely not his game.
That is an invitation he should turn back down with a quick RSVP.
Doncic driving. The kick, Randolph. He uses the up fake, takes a 2 instead, and he continues to be hot.
Hey, but he's looking smooth. He's looking in a really great place, but they made him make a dribble, and they were a little slow on the second help. But it's coming for Ukraine in terms of what they're trying to do defensively. They've got to tick it over here, though.
Lukashov for 3, and in and out.
Randolph's everywhere.
Sure is. Pulls down the rebound and finds his guard. 3:15 to go here in the first half. Red out Randolph, hands it off. Doncic from deep 3-point range. No good. And Lukashov pulls down the rebound there. Lukashov almost losing the handle there. Nikolic with a good D. They use the screen, and it's an offensive foul on Postovi. That's going to be his 3rd foul here in the first half.
And we can criticize all sorts of things about the offensive execution, but if you are going to force problems in picks and rolls, that the Slovenian defense was just superb. Just never let the guy with the ball get beyond that lead foot. We were always able to go over the screen. Postovi is just lined up for an offensive foul.
Credit number 6 is White with that
The
defense.
Slovenian team look in a great place. They look in a tremendous place.
Very composed. They're getting great guard play. Prepelic for 3. Indeed! They are rolling right now in Istanbul. 8 points and counting for Prepelic. Danger zone now for the Ukraine. Krastov. Hands off. This is Lipovi. And he gets fouled. Away from the basket. Prepelic picks up the foul there. Shot clock reset back to 14 as we take a look at Prepelic. Here's Lipovi. Driving in, got in the air. To Stevanov, got in the air again. Was bailed out by Krastov, who goes to work with 5 on the clock. Left it short. Koniev attacking. Doncic beats him to the ball. Doncic with the hesitation. Continues on, and now we'll pull it back out to run a set. Koniev fouling on the reach.
Number 24,
That's his first foul here in the game.
But again, the easy thing to do is come around the back and reach. The difficult thing is to keep it in front of you, move your feet. And there's no shortcut back into this for Ukraine. They're not going to get short steals, easy steals. They've got to work to get them, and that's not a great sign that they're going to go with that.
Doncic waits for the Vidmar screen. Now attacks, blocked by Krastov. And good hustle there. Kuzmanov to keep that in. Bobrov looks up, finds Lipovi. Lipovi attacking, driving inside, and he's hacked. He'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Again, it's
number 6,
they get so much joy when they go quick, and that's not quick and run. That's not run and gun. That's keep it moving quick. They never set in that. They'd already had a pick and roll, bit of pick and roll action. Defense is then trying to recover and adapt, and then there's a drive lane, and they attacked it, get the foul. They've just got to keep the tempo a little higher and the ball moving a little sharper without trying to force shots. They've got to win this last win at 40. Really build some momentum going into the half. They've got the stop, they get the score, they close the margin to 15, another one, and they're starting to get some momentum.
Minute 35 to get that momentum back as they head into the locker room for the halftime break. Right down the lane, Finbar punches it home.
Yeah, there's no shortcut, and the shortcut means if you're the last man away from the ball, which is exactly in that situation where Lepovi was, you're not camping outside here. You're getting your backside right on the split line, right in the middle of the floor. When he rolls down the middle, he finds you. If he finds space, he's going to throw it down. You've got to commit to this. If you don't, you're down 40-23, and it's a big old mountain to climb.
We see Doncic will take a seat for the last minute 25 here in the first half. See the assist totals there on screen, 9-5 in favor of Slovenia. Krastov will look to go to work. Nice backdoor cut, and Bobrov punches that one home. Everyone fell asleep, and Bobrov found himself with the easiest two of the night. Chanchar tried to find Prepelic. Last touch there by Ukraine. Stay on this side, 15 on the shot clock. Timeout on the floor. 56 seconds to go till half. A 15-point spread in favor of Slovenia.
Well, this is Coach Kokoshov trying to, make the most of the last 56 seconds. He called a quick play. He called a play where he was going to be active, called a play where he's going to get something to the hoop. Now he's out of bounds. He's going to get what he wants out of bounds. As we see the stats on the percentages from the field. And across the board, Slovenia are just making Ukraine look second best. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out of bounds, gets something out of bounds, gets up the floor, looks for, again, to force the issue. 10 points from turnovers. They are literally turning their defensive pressure into a positive on every occasion they can.
With a 15-point lead, that's the story of the game right there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what we said. It's not like it's not. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to look at where they've had advantages in all their games in Helsinki. They're great, so they're good enough. And the difference between them and other teams is that they've got points off their turnovers, and they run as 5. They're looking for that numerical advantage on every single possible option.
Ukraine, on the other hand, have struggled to find offense, and they averaged 20 assists per game in the group stage in Tel Aviv. Right now, that number is at 5 here as we tick down towards halftime. That's not what you want to see out of a timeout.
Well, you don't quite see Coach at this point. And there's one of those resigned looks. There you go. He's looking at it now thinking, come on, guys, we've just run a play. We've got it exactly where we wanted, and you couldn't catch the pass. Then he'll calm down and say, hey, their execution was great. And now he's going to think, well, hey, okay, they've gone for a timeout. We'll take the pressure, we'll put it back on right now.
Coach Mirzin wants the timeout to set something up as we tick down towards halftime. You see the percentages there by the quarter. Slovenia shot 50% and then 40% to follow up. That's tough to stop. That means you're getting easy looks and the looks that you want.
Yeah, but the good size is the only important thing is that the number's going down. They came out hot. They obviously came out. That locker room would have been going, let's not look at their record. Let's not look at them being fourth. It's a one-off game. It's really stamped. And they came out very, very focused. Shot 50%, led. They've shot 40%, but the big thing is killing the Ukraine is 21% in this quarter. And it's just, you commented on their assist numbers in the first round. Well, they had Pustovi going to the ring. They got a lot of, highlight plays in transition. They have nothing going in transition at the moment, apart from some secondary stuff where they keep the ball moving really well.
Slight pressure will be shown by Slovenia here with 55 seconds to go till half. First round of 16 game today. First of 4 on tap here in Istanbul. Bobrov, 14 on the clock, foul away from the basketball, and it's an offensive foul.
When it rains, it pours, I think is the phrase. You're trying to set a good screen, get your man open. A little sloppy, perhaps. We'd have to see the replay to give an opinion. Yeah, he just walked straight through him. You know, it's...
Nikolic. Prepelic for 3. That was way off. Did touch the backboard and the ring, so the shot clock reset back to 14. Prepelic was fouled. No basket. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws, however.
Number
As the
4,
Ukrainer earned a penalty.
second personal foul, Kenji Fano.
Again, that's great recognition by Prepelic. Goes up, but the move was correct. He recognized the drive lane. And Pustovanov just gave him the attack the front foot. It's like one of those one-on-one drills when you learn how to play one-on-one, attack the front foot. Got to get further up so you don't get a direct line to go past. If you're further up, the offense has to go almost backward to go forwards. And it sort of probably sums up where Ukraine are at the moment. Just a step off.
Double figures now for Prepelic. It's perfect from the free throw line. Ukraine could hold for the last possession here. Shot clock, game clock, even.
Really need a score. Really need a score here right now.
They're going to run 2-man game with Lipovi and Krasnov. Lipovi inside. Krasnov was fouled from behind. That will put Slovenia in the penalty, and they'll go to the line for 2 Krasnov free throws.
Well, if you can't get the open look, get to the free throw line. Make it a 15-point game if he makes both.
Chanchar will leave the game, placing him more in Dragic.
How we know, 15-point margins with half a quarter to go. You can come back. We saw Israel do that in Tel Aviv. So this Ukrainian team have got to try and hang around. Make these two, get a stop, get in the locker room. Just make some decisions about how you want to play the pick and roll. Talk a little bit about execution in the half court or in transition. And remind yourself how you got here. Big win over Israel, big win over Georgia.
Krasnov looking for a second point here in the first half. Gets it. They're going to try to keep Dragic from putting it up. That shot will not go. Wouldn't have counted anyway had it gone. At the half, 42-27. Slovenia up and looking good here at Eurobasket 2017.
These stats are pretty much going to underline the 42-27 margin. There'll be no surprises in where these points have come from because it's been consistent throughout, 45 and 40%. So, yeah, they've reduced it a little, but only 36 and 22. That is not going to get you a place in the quarterfinals. Okay, when they get fouled, they're okay. Rebound-wise, Slovenia will be ahead in every stat here. 9 assists. They share the ball as well as any team in the competition.
That steal number there, they averaged 9 a game and 4.
Made worse by the turnovers as well. It's points off turn. Only 8 turnovers, so how efficient have the Ukraine been scoring, 12, 14 points off of 8 turnovers? That's again, the efficiency is the number for me that make, they're in a great position. Ukraine by no means out of it, but they have to stop the bleeding with the turnovers and just move the ball a little better.
Luka Doncic, 8 first half points. Prepelic leading the way for Slovenia with 10. On the other end, it has been Pustovanov, who came off the bench, giving 8 for the Ukraine. They are down 42-27 at the half. We'll leave you with the first half pictures and be back. Second half action. The first game of 4 here in the round of 16.
Hola, hola, hola, hola, hola, hola, hola. Hola, hola, hola, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hola, hola, hola, hola, hola, hola.
Hello, hello. Oh, hello. Check. Mic check 1, 2.
Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh.
Hello. Hello, hello. Mic check 1, 2. Here. Hello, check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
All right, back we are here in Istanbul. 42-27 the scoreline in favor of Slovenia. Up on the Ukraine. First of 4 matchups here in Istanbul. The round of 16, win and move on, lose and go home. And for the Ukraine, they had to battle to get here in the first place. Now they're going to have to battle to stay alive here in the knockout.
Well, they dealt with adversity really, really well in Tel Aviv. They were faced with a number of bad situations in games and between games, and they found a way. The trouble is, I'm not sure if they've decided what the way is.
Right.
If you take a line, let's just for 1 second say, okay, at the moment they're going to lose. If they carry on playing the way they have, they're going to lose. So what are they going to decide to do? Are they going to hedge? Are they going to look to trap? The trouble, one of the options that's been taken away from them because of the first half is to keep the ball for longer, try and shorten the game. And that's always, that's gone now. They can't do that. There's not enough minutes in the game with this sort of margin just so we're going to shoot perfectly and get enough stops. But I think the scenario they're faced with, they have to get a little momentum in the third. Can get it into a 10-point game. They're back in. But they can't lose. I don't care if they win by 1. They can't lose the third period. They have to at least split it. If they could win it, great. If they win it, pick your poison. That's the debate from now. If we do this and that works, we're back in the game. If we don't, well, at least we've come up with an option to try and give us a chance to win.
It was a 16-10 second quarter in favor of Slovenia, so they did find a way to kind of ugly the game up, we'll say, and slow it down and maybe try to shorten the game because they can't run with Slovenia. It doesn't seem like the Slovenians gotten so many fast break points off the turnovers, and they're very efficient, as you've been saying, all first half.
Well, that's the most important stat for me. If they can really minimize turnovers, they have a chance to eat into the lead. Because every time they got a little bit of momentum, they turned it over and bang, they're down the other end. I only turned it over 8 times, but the Slovenians in terms of points off of turnovers, just absolutely efficient. 12 points out of 8 turnovers. I mean, that's pretty high. And then on a couple of the others, they were fouled and they're back on the sidelines. So they got positive stats on pretty much everything but 2 of those turnover situations. Go with the 2 bigs. Go with something different. Go with something that's going to give you something more. Hustobi starting, I think, is positive. I hope they've looked at their numbers from Tel Aviv where this lineup was their most effective lineup. Get out, run, challenge shots, see if you can get some momentum, and then who knows, this is a crazy game sometimes.
We've seen some crazy comebacks so far in this Eurobasket 2017 as we start the second half. The Ukraine trying to come back here on a team that has gone undefeated so far in tournament. Will have to do so if they want to stand at the top of the podium here at Eurobasket 2017. First possession of turnover by the Ukraine.
And was it really? I'm sitting, relatively courtside here, and that pass was never there. There was never a pass lane to make, and they're too anxious. You can't get anxious trying to come back because you will make 2 mistakes. You said you didn't want to turn it over. Turn it over first possession.
Dragic for 2 in and out. Stobi will pull the rebound down, and the Ukraine will look to push. Lubachenko, Lukashov, Bobrov, Ivanov, and Stobi, who's on the rock right now. The 5 on the floor for the Ukraine. They traveled to Vidmar, unfortunately, to be able to face the
It's not his game, is it? Post-up games aren't his game. Being big, being mobile is his game.
That'd be the next step in his evolution. He's He's only 25 years old.
Yeah.
Kind of started as a kind of a breaking out of some sort here in Eurobasket 2017. The next step will probably be working on his post-up move. Good
Wow.
hustle there by Slovenia.
I think that sums Ukraine up.
Vidmar! That's his second dunk.
They did a great job defensively. They got a piece of it. They stole it. And then we're just sloppy with it. You know, they get it taken over back and more points off turnovers.
Doncic filling up the stat sheet, working on a near triple-double. Ivanov has been a plus for the Ukraine. Knocks down a triple. He has 11 in 15 games. Didn't shoot well in Tel Aviv at all. And seemed to find a touch here in Istanbul. Vidmar down the lane again, trying to go reverse. Dragic there to clean it up. Fresh 14. Vidmar gets back in bounds and now looks to go to work on Pistovi. The double comes. Dragic, back to Vidmar, back to Dragic. 5 on the shot clock. Good defense here by the Ukraine, but Dragic finds a sliver of hope and misses it off the glass. 16-point spread is the last bucket there by Dragic. I don't know.
One or two Ukrainians both run past him though. In terms of he's got his pivot, he waits, he gets him a little off balance and just steps through again.
He's averaged 24 in the tournament at Dragic. He has 5 today. They haven't needed much from him. The rest of his backcourt mates have been picking up the slack. 10 on the shot clock. Ovchenko dancing now. Driving down the lane. Floater. No good. Bobrov and Pustovi with the miss. Doncic on the run. Foul call is going to be on Ovchenko. See Doncic with the drop pass here.
Number 9, goes to
Iric will go to the line for 2.
Second personal foul, Nikita Fowler takes first. Ukraine getting taken foul.
You see Luka Doncic versus before, now on the grand stage, and so far, through a half and a bit here in the third quarter, he's looked phenomenal.
Well, I think you see him play for Real Madrid and you think, yeah, he's a great young talent. Coach Pablo Lasso gives him so much responsibility for a young guy. He treats him just as a player. What impresses me about playing on the national team stage is you've got that added responsibility on your shoulders. You're representing your country. It's a huge opportunity because this Slovenian team has aspirations that depend on him. So, and the way he's responded to that has just been phenomenal for a young guy.
First real pressure-packed game for him today, and he started off with 8 points. He looks great. Ovchenko, no good there, and here's Doncic. Had that snapped out of his hands. Dragic runs onto it. Foul in the open court. Bobrov putting his hands up, and they give him the foul.
Number 13,
I hope this doesn't sound too unkind to the Ukraine. It does look a little bit men and boys at the minute, you know, because there's just in every aspect of the game, from intensity through to execution, the Slovenians just have a one-step edge on everything, hence the 18-point margin.
Dragic steps into a 3, no good. Bobrov battling the 18-year-old Doncic. And a foul called on Doncic.
The saving grace is that you consider how well Slovenia started. Their percentages dropping. If the Ukraine could get on a run, it's not like Slovenia are just going to trade with them. They're not actually getting shots to drop. Sometimes that can happen. If you're this comfortable in the lead and another team gets the run on you, you do panic. You know, there is an opportunity.
Ivanov for 3, no good there. Rebound, Bobrov can't get it to go. Everything seems to be spinning in and out now for the Ukraine.
I think you're seeing the difference in the level between these two teams and the teams that Pustovi had success with.
Stovey in the lane, no good. Doncic pulls down the rebound, trying to find Vidmar on a skip pass, can't get it to him. Lukashov, and that pass is knocked out of bounds. Stovey frustrated as he leaves the game. Krastov checks in for him.
Back in the game. Number
Ukraine basketball. With 20 on the shot clock. Odmichenko. Watched by Dragic. Backdoor cut, Lukashov right to the 10.
And there are always signs, aren't there? There's so many signs for Ukraine. If they could get Lukashov going, just get the stops, get the momentum. It's only 16, get it to 10, win the quarter.
Here's Dragic. Using a Vidmar screen. Kick this side, Muric for 3, no good. Lukashov pulls the rebound down. This is Vonov. Want to go inside to Krastov. Krastov inside, banging, able to get it to go. Looking around for the foul, but the Ukraine getting some easy looks now towards the basket. Dragic looking to go to work on Lukashov. Spinning, no shot, foul on the floor. Lukashov picks up his fourth foul last field goal attempt.
Back to 14. That's, you know, they're in the bonus. They're in the 1 point margin on the quarter. Still half of the quarter to go. They only have to win the quarter by, you know, anything will do. Just to keep them moving forwards.
Doncic, skip pass. Randolph, he was red hot in the first half. Looking to spin inside. Tough shot. That one doesn't go.
First time they've made him take a second dribble. Get him off balance. Make him take a shot that's a little tougher.
Shevchenko, jab set, he trapped.
And as Lipovi is telling him, you're open. Your job here is to shoot the ball, shoot the basketball. We're not getting back with you taking it down the middle against these guys.
Kolchenko was one of the guys who was not shy of putting up the jump shot in Tel Aviv. 12 turnovers now for the Ukraine in this game. Doncic attacking Krastov. Lays it in.
That's that responsibility. Your team's on the wrong end of a run, so what does he do? Take it right at the heart of the defense.
12 and counting for Doncic, leads all scores. Randolph got up high to intercept that pass. Slovenia right now, Paulson. Oh, Doncic to the rim. Going behind the back, gets fouled. He'll go to the line.
Number 15, Second personal foul, the team's foul.
All the tools in the tool bag are coming out now.
Yeah, this is by no means over. It's only a 16-point game, but it does mean even in a 16-point game, the Slovenians can get into really deep in their rotations. This is still a long tournament to stay healthy, to stay fresh. And obviously they get a day off tomorrow because they play today while the other round of 16 game goes on. But hey, you don't need to overplay people at this stage. You don't need to be getting too many miles on the clock. And Kukasov is not, you know, he's not the coach he is without realizing things like that around tournaments.
Both free throws knocked down by Doncic. Real dangerous area now for the Ukraine. Trying to keep their tournament hopes alive. Kolchenko using the Krastov screen. Guards are really putting some pressure now.
That's just great defense, isn't it? Fundamentally, it's great. It's not just hard work, it's smart. They do a great job of getting the ball into areas where they want it to go.
Kolchenko for 3. That's off. Doncic with a flat-footed rebound, and look at him go. Slows it down. Randolph's back to Doncic. Lipovi looking at Doncic. Skip pass. Randolph is open for 3. Indeed!
Absolutely out of the top floor. Penetrate the baseline, get the defense flattened off. They share the ball, open look, and Randolph's just made another wide open look.
Zaitsev has put on the line for 2. This is Ivanov with the offensive board. Fresh 14 for the Ukraine. Zaitsev is open. They do not give it to him. Kratslov this side. This is Ivanov for 3. No good. And Slovenia out in the open floor again. Randolph, a little too much dribbling for him. Still able to save it.
Love the effort, love the mentality, love the culture of this group. They just, in terms of working for each other as well as building on that talent, they're in a very, very good place as a team. This type of opening game for them, if they can keep this going, it's going to be an ideal introduction to the knockout stage. You don't need to be going, although some people say the more tough games you have, the better. You don't want a blowout because that's not going to help you prepare going forward. I don't think they're the sort of team that's going to get carried away with this win and celebrate. I think they have bigger aspirations in the quarterfinals with the quality of what they're doing.
I'd agree with you there. And the first free throw by Prepelic and second by Prepelic is knocked down. Lukashov checks back into the game. Prepelic had a nice game off the bench so far. 12 points accounting for him. Really getting some effort from the backcourt, RCB. That's been happening all tournament long. Josh with 5 points. You'd expect him, who's their leading scorer at 24, to have a little bit more, but he hasn't beat it really. Rastov's taking it back. Nemec picks up the foul. That's his third.
Well, only Repech and Zagalec haven't played, so they're already deep to 10 on the rotation.
Rastov looking to give it inside. Slovenia on the run again. Prepelic lays it up, can't get it to go, and Randolph got pushed in the back on his offensive rebound attempt. That will send him to the line for 2 free throws.
Again, they turn every single time. The point of the transition when they turn it over, it's it's like going on the beer bang in a sprint. They're gone. I mean, wherever they are on the floor, there's 2 guys higher on the floor are just out in transition. It's an automatic. There is no debate about do we run. They run every single opportunity.
It's been a track meet so far.
Yeah.
Randolph knocks down both free throws.
He just epitomizes this team at the minute. I mean, one missed shot where he actually try and make a tough move. Everything else has been as a result of just great ball movement.
He's 14 in counting. He's averaged 8.5 in the tournament so far. Doncic there with a mistake. One of the rare ones, fouling Konyev on the drive.
Let's write that down. 2:35 in the third. Doncic makes a mistake because at the moment,
all the scouts watching, there you go.
There you go. Everything about Doncic, though, while these free throws doesn't say 18-year-old player at all. Everything says man. He's a man. He's playing that way. He's physically that well developed. You've got to credit the way that the coaches he's come across, because the talent's the one thing, but making that talent into what it already is and then keep challenging it to get better. He's got to work with he has been working with some of the best coaches.
Here he is again. Got that poked out of his hands. He'll stay on this end. 11 on the shot clock. Bright future ahead for that young man. Prepelic on the drive. Doncic, that's a 3 on hand for Nikolic, can't hit. And Zaitsev goes down the rebound. Looking to get into Kratslov again. Long arms and a lot from Randall. Able to poke that in. And Zaitsev able to get a floater and plays. First 2 of the night, as the Ukraine trying to dig themselves out of this huge hole here and stay alive here at Eurobasket 2017. Randolph! He is hot as a blowtorch right now.
17 points on 16 minutes of basketball. 1 missed shot in the whole of that period.
Perfect from behind the arc. Kick ball there. Nemec got his foot in the way. Take a look at the last 3 by Randolph.
Dodatkowo Chacha.
Rooms have been kind to him here in Istanbul. Lukashov with the flat-footed jump shot, no good. Randolph on the runway. Kisses it in off the glass. There's no way Zaitsev is going to put himself on a poster. Rastov down low. Lukashov for the backdoor cut. Nice play there by the Ukraine.
It's just the relentless nature of Slovenia, isn't it? It's not just about level, it's about consistency of level. They're just absolutely relentless. And Randolph at the moment is just putting on a clinic.
Sure is. Spinning in the lane. He is a bad man right now, is Anthony Randolph.
And the smart thing is that all those guys out there know that, and how many touches is he's getting. Every single time down the floor, if he's open, he gets the touch.
12 points alone in this quarter. He's 21 on the night. Zaitsev for 3. Knocks that down. Much better movement on the last 2 possessions for the Ukraine.
Better cuts, better spacing.
Go back to Randolph. It's Prepelic. He can hold here for the last shot. Prepelic gets fouled beforehand. And he'll go to the line for 2 free throws as the Ukraine were already in the penalty. That's Kolchenko's third.
Alexander Kolchenko picks up his third. Üçüncü foul. Klemen Prepelic. Shooting 2. 2 serbest atış kullanacak.
Prepelic knocks down the first. His routine doesn't waste any time in getting that thing to the rim. 1 dribble, 2 dribbles and up. Works for him as he knocks down both.
26 points in this quarter for Slovenia. All that hope for Ukraine when they cut it to a 14-point lead and had the basketball, turned it over and gave up a 3, has just completely just evaporated.
Oh, Randolph with the rejection at the buzzer. Get that stuff out of here. 68-43 the score here. After 3, Slovenia rolling here in Istanbul. And of course, a reminder, you can join us in conversation on social media with the hashtag Eurobasket2017. Maybe talk about the play of Slovenia and Anthony Randolph, who had 12 points in that third quarter, 21 on the night so far, who's been terrific.
Oh, Randolph, when you see someone like Randolph, he's a good athlete, right? We haven't spoken about his athleticism once, apart from that last block where he really got up there and blocked it. Fundamentally, that's just how hard he works. Yeah, he's played years in the NBA. He's had various years in the EuroLeague in Russia and in Real Madrid, and it's like this guy is a basketball player first, and you can say that about the whole Slovenian team. Their execution on top of their their natural ability is just out of the top drawer. Their movement and spacing in particular away from the ball just makes the defensive job so difficult. And on top of that, the Ukraine, well, let's not get too carried away with how well or bad they're playing. This isn't the worst they've played. They have literally come up against a team here that looks like they have genuine podium potential, and who knows what spot on the podium.
Here's Randolph. That's a 3. Can't get it to go. A foul on the screen.
Yeah, the whistle put him off. He realized he wasn't going to count, so it's not on the stat sheet, so let's just go with that.
Second personal foul, James first. Ukraine Prepelic, the
Backdoor screen was read there by Postovi, who's back into the game now. For the Ukraine. Lukashov in the corner. Konya. Randall did a good job closing there. Bolchenko, that's a 3. In and out. Tapped up, inside. Oh, Vidmar comes back and erases that opportunity. They don't give up defensively at all.
Not at all. Relentless is the right word for them. They just, obviously, Lukashov as a coach, as great as a coach as he is, the one thing you can obviously see from this is, hey, if anyone slacks, they're coming out. There's plenty of guys who want to play on this team.
Vidmar with the last 2 there. He has 2 blocks, 8 points so far. Stovi, not his game at all.
But they've taken him there, haven't they? They've pushed him 3, 4, 5 feet further out than he wants to be.
Randolph, that's his first miss in quite some time.
Take him out, coach. Take him out. It's
Lukashov. That's set for straight on 3. No good there. And another rebound. And the guards have rebounded pretty well here for Slovenia as well.
well, they stay at home, don't they? They'll box first. And then once one of your teammate guards has got it, the other 2 are gone.
Prepelic thought he got hit. Can't get that to go. Randolph, the ball just seems to find him at the moment. Nikolic at the foul line. No good. And Postovi back inside. Lukashov driving in. Konya for 3. No good. Prepelic, another rebound. Another guard in there. For Slovenia rebounding. Dragic waiting to come back in with a couple teammates. Prepelic probing. Randolph. Got his man to post. Inside. No shot. The foul was before him taking off. Zaitsev picks up his 3rd foul. Randolph's last play for a little while here as he hits the bench.
That's probably Randolph done for the game, isn't it? What a performance. What an absolutely phenomenal performance. Efficiency personified in the way he's played. Defensively has been a real asset to this team as well, because he will challenge shots. We saw that at the end of the 3rd. Really does a great job. We were looking earlier on, how did he become Slovenian? He was actually born in Slovenia. He's part of this group. Did play in the Pan American Games for US when he was younger.
Sanchar, the shot clock expires. Can't get it to go. Lipovic. Still plenty of time here in this game if the Ukraine can try to dig himself out of this hole. They got to do it in segments. They got to do it efficiently. Lipovic uses the Stovi screen and they give it away. 3-on-0 on the runway. Lazic crushes the orange. Everyone getting involved now for Slovenia. They said they'd like to run. They get turnover and 3 white jerseys go the other way. Lukashenko probing, trying to find the big man Postovian. Goran Dragic comes away with the steal. Again, they come the other way. Muric, Chanchar. Good job that time by the Ukraine getting back defensively, and Vidmar is fouled by Lipovic before he can do anything.
So we talked about this a lot, didn't we, in the Ukraine? Like, he just held him. He knew he was going to, couldn't cover him, so he fouled him. And that sums it up again. The execution down the other end, but they turned their defense into points. And 3 guys got out on the break. They're up by far too many. They're up by 29. Yet they're still playing hard. They're still getting hands in the lane, and they're still relentless down the floor. And they're off the offensive boards.
It's been a complete effort so far for this team that has been undefeated in Slovenia. And they've beaten some tough squads too. They beat France.
Yeah.
Good in that game. As Josh pulls up a 2, no good.
Finland in Finland is a win, isn't it? This be with a crowd.
Yeah, they had record crowds out there in Finland to see the home team play.
And then, the 4th team in the group, not too shabby, as in Greece, as in a former European champion.
Bonov with the 3. be no good. And again, they look to run. Lazic, travel. All got caught in his penalty.
Just wasn't quite sure who to give it to. He was almost spoiled for choice on the end of the break.
There's a buffet ahead of him. As you see the last dunk by Lazic. Stovey trying to find Odachenko. What's the right decision? The pass is not there.
Absolutely.
25 years old. We had an opportunity to see him the entire time the Ukraine was in Tel Aviv and running up and down the floor, creating energy for a big man like him. The next step is probably developing down low.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see for me because he's been an effective player in the ACB. He's not been a star. Whereas, like, if you're the operator, if you're sitting there watching this, you go, hey, maybe we've underused him. Maybe we should build that rim run stuff into what we're trying to do. Recognize the fact he gets there. He averages 9 points a game in the ACB. Let's not sniff at it. But it'd be interesting to see how he comes out of this competition. 22 points from turnovers, and 18 turnovers. So that's a great return on your defense. 22 from 18 is right up there. That's phenomenal in terms of a stat. And this team thrive off it. We talked about things being contagious. Defense is always contagious. Getting out and running is contagious. You want to run. They've gone to the line 24 times against 7. Ukraine committed 25 fouls. It's a man and boys game at the moment, and Ukraine are in that boy role. Well, they are literally second best in every category. And the reason more than anything else is this team will not let up. This team is just on point, on focus. These are our rules. We're going to follow them all the way through. And this guy has had his biggest game ever, for the Slovenian team at this level.
Some positives, though, to come out of this for the Ukraine, even though it doesn't look good on the scoreline at the moment, but the World Cup qualifiers coming up, the majority of this team should be together. They are, a fairly young squad. There's positives to build off of this run here that they've had here at Eurobasket 2017.
Oh, absolutely. They've got an extra game. They've got to the last 16. A couple of months they'll be on the floor again, so they can pick up that World Cup qualifier running. And there's not many teams who are going to have had as a positive outcome as the Ukraine.
Dragic looking to penetrate here is Vidmar. That's too strong. Look if he pulls that rebound down.
Well, as long as everybody's healthy, everybody on this roster will be available. So
still 7 players from this team were at Eurobasket 2015, I should say. For the Ukraine, so we're starting to build some chemistry. Core together. We have a budding star, Artem Stovey. They are missing Mashula, who was in the backcourt in Tel Aviv. He's not playing today.
Prashenko's not here, so they have some other weapons, and they still made the. There are plenty of teams who aren't still at this Eurobasket. They've gone home, so it's already a positive.
They've beaten Georgia. Georgia that's just Stovey up top. It's the first time they connect on the outside. Beat Georgia. That's nothing to sniff at because Georgia after the first day anyway, after beating Ukraine, looked a team that might have had their sights standing on the podium.
Well, I still think that, they weren't the deepest team, but talent-wise, first 6-7 players could have played with anybody.
Vidmar down low. Nikolic for 2. Indeed. He is 4 points off the bench. His defense has been terrific on the perimeter for Slovenia. 74-45. Just over 4 minutes to go in the game. Lukashov driving. Pistovy on the cleanup.
And for the first time, this be harsh on Slovenia. Why not? This first time the level's dropped. Just dropped for a couple. We've got Pistovy on that pick and roll where he throws it down. And this is the first time ever he has a clean lane to the hoop, and he's obviously up there throwing it down.
That three-point attempt too strong. Lazic tried to hand it inside to Vidmar. They'll stay on this side of the court, 11 on the shot clock. Eventually checking everybody and throwing it down there.
Now Vidmar puts in his normal quality shift. 8 points in his 24 minutes. It says I'm a 5-man, that's what I do. And I take space, I rebound, I bump. And to be fair, he's had to step on Pestovia or Krestov the whole game.
It's a nice hand from the crowd on end as Chanchar launches. Pestovia above everybody, pulling that down. Bobrov up top, down hard.
And this just shows you the quality of the Slovenia in their level. Because they just take it off a step, and all of a sudden Ukraine look a different lineup.
Lazic, that was pure. Good shooting night for Slovenia as well. 42% from 2-point range as Bobrov punches another alley-oop attempt home. He has 8 on the evening.
Kokosov will be, if anyone wants a discussion about their floor time, you guys are getting picked to bits out here. Back screen gives the easy 2. That's 3 times they've gone straight to the ring on you. And if it wasn't for Aziz down the other end ticking it over, you guys would be a little embarrassed here. He's not being too demonstrative, and they get a back cut again.
Another one. At least it gives them something to build on for next game.
I tell you the interesting thing now is Dragic is up, standing up, like literally giving his teammates what's going on. This isn't what we're about here. We're not going to allow this to happen in this way. He's the guy. It's like they're almost self-policing. Interesting aspect.
Golchenko comes away with the theft. Hands off to Lukashov. And this is the Ukrainian team that won the games in Tel Aviv, looking much better here in the last 2 minutes or so. 2 minutes to go here in the game. Chanchar was trying to pound it home, but he got fouled on the way up.
It must be fun. If you're playing on this team as a 3 or a 4 or a 5-man, if you cut and you open, you better have your hands out because these guards find you. It's a fun team to be on. These big guys, the wings, get the ball in great positions. And that's great. It's just great execution, great reading, and more than anything else, this team's prepared to pass. Prepared to pass to each other and move for each other.
Very unselfish. 17 assists as a team right now. Second free throw goes. Chanchar. As Coach Peterson should be happy with the effort that his team has given.
He should be very happy. He's here in Istanbul. He's had a nice tour, should we say. He's been to Tel Aviv, he's in Istanbul. He's standing where a lot of coaches would have liked to have been.
Right. Minute 30 to go in the game. Slovenia will be moving on and continue to be undefeated here in Eurobasket 2017. Randolph's been terrific. You see a couple of his highlights. The high man with 21 points to lead the team. Perfect from 3-point range. He had 2 blocks as well. Another turnover by the Ukraine, and if they want to look at one stat that really stands out, is that turnover number. It's a little too high today.
And it's too high, and every time they turn it over, they're almost giving up points.
Last minute to go here for the Ukraine at Eurobasket 2017. Golchenko pulls up for 2. Indeed. He's had a solid tournament.
He has. I think that over the series of games they've played, every single one of these Ukrainian players has had positives coming in and out this tournament.
Right.
And as you say, build on that, try and get out that World Qualifiers group, and you're moving on as a program.
5 to shoot here. In the corner, Chanchar for 3. Left it short. Stoby just slapped at it. The Ukraine almost turned it over one more time. 16.5 seconds to go in the game. Excellent effort out of Slovenia. They got contributions from everywhere. Randolph was terrific. And they will be moving on here in Istanbul. Final score, 79-55. Slovenia eliminates the Ukraine and look great doing it. Bigger picture, they hope to be standing on the podium here in Istanbul a week from today. Slovenia victorious, 79-55 over the Ukraine, and will be moving on to the quarterfinals.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the team from Ukraine. Ukraine zakończył wielkie alkışlıyoruz.
Thank you, friends. Thank you.
Well, let's just sum it up. This Slovenian team is a medal contender. Put a full stop, because they've got quality in the backcourt. They've got a superstar, two superstars in that combination. In the backcourt. The big guys bang around and do what you have to do instead of protect the middle. And then on top of that, you've got Randolph coming off the bench, don't forget, who is just points in the bank. He is active, knows he can score, knows he's a factor. He gets profiled by the director coming off the court. Those fans, well, are they interested to watch the other teams, or are they just going to celebrate? None of these guys are celebrating. They look like they're on a journey here that ends up on a podium. That's just something they had to do. Had to win today, move on. 45%, 32%, slipped a little as the game progressed. 26 trips to the free throw line.
Wow.
You know, Ukraine, there's far too many. Domination on the glass. They got a little closer towards the end. Everything just slipped off a little bit because they rotated people in and out. 10 steals, and when you're scoring points off turnovers, you need obviously to get those. 18 turnovers for the Ukraine, and they were punished for those. Overall, that's a complete performance by Slovenia. Complete. Look like they are very much on track to go very, very deep into this competition. No one's going to want to play these guys as this progression goes through, and I mean no one.
Yeah, they're red hot. You see Anthony Randolph, 21 points, 3 rebounds. Luka Doncic, 14 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. I mean, in his first round of 16 game, and he's looked every bit the stud that he is. So Slovenia moving on for Ukraine. Now they look forward to the World Cup qualifiers. And as you said, Slovenia does look like a contender. The message sent, and I'm sure it has been received by the rest of the tournament. For Mark Clark, I'm Carlin Gay. We will leave you with the highlights and be back with Game 2, France and Germany, not far away.